Hey, what's cracking, fam? All right, so these things, the news events, they happen, they go by so fast, and oftentimes we don't have to check back in with them, or we don't have the time or the inclination or whatever happens, the new news cycle, but we don't get to check back in with them. So I like to do this every once in a while and check back in on forgotten celebrity scandals, if if you know what I'm talking about, right? So this week. The first one I'm going to show you isn't necessarily a solved riddle or anything, but it is interesting to note. You guys remember the video with Scarlett Johansson where somebody disappeared, like right behind her? You know what I'm talking about? Let me just let's look. Let's get to it. All right, let me stop playing around. Okay, let's not bury the lead. You know what I'm saying? All right, so um, it turns out. Well, here you go.
During a Golden Globes after party in 2006, hosted by Harvey Weinstein, Scarlett Johansson would wear such an amazing red dress that it would cause this nice lady behind her to just vanish in thin air.
And what was the highlight of the evening for you tonight?
Philip Seymour Hoffman winning for Best Actor for a Drama.
17 years later, Scarlett would finally address the clip and had this to say.
Oh my god, that is my mom. That is my mom.
Wait, what?
That's my mom.
Wait, let's watch it again. That's your mom, but what?
That woman with the dark hair
Yes.
is my mother.
That's your mom?
Been winning for Best Actor for a Drama. I've been looking for her for like the last 15 years.
That, in fact, is Scarlett's mom, Melanie Sloan. She served as Scarlett's manager during the early stages of her career, playing a key role in navigating her rise to stardom.
Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could.
We still don't know what happened to her though. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that work? How did she disappear in that particular shot? We still don't know how that happened. But that is interesting though that that turned out to be Scarlett Johansson's mom, right? Am I tripping? Okay, so next up. Hold on to your hats.
Hold on to Chris Brown beating Rihanna. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
ooh, my.
Like, how the fuck did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay-Z worked so fucking hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started fucking with her and signed to the Def Jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most sexually involved with, and that was Sean Carter.
Now, the word is a lot of mums in the industry got herpes. The word is a whole lot of them do. This allegation here, Sean Carter, Usher. I mean, the word is like everybody got it. So, Rihanna, Chris Brown now, like, that's the word, but I don't know. That's the word though.
So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was fucking Jay-Z underage.
Well,
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted into Clive Davis's house and said, "Where the fuck is this dirty bitch at?" I can't fault him for that. This is beautiful, tall, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
ooh,
And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that nigga a blowjob in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "Bitch, you always fucking sucking something." Then he said, I'm fucking done with you. And he stormed out of Clive Davis's house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a dick-sucking whore and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Clive Davis's house the night before the fucking Grammys. She in the car trying to fuck him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have killed the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the fuck away from her. Because Lord,
Well, Jaguar be spilling the tea, boy. She got some kind of presidential award or something. What did she get? You know what? I'm not gonna look it up real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on real quick. She got something from the White House. Yeah, they called her a defender of freedom. So, that happened. This was February 27th, 2025. So this was just last year. So, that actually happened. But back to the lecture at hand. So anyway, so yeah, she's been spilling all the tea about a whole lot of people, about a whole lot of things. But according to this, just that story, we got Chris Brown. We got anybody Chris Brown adjacent. We got Rihanna. Anybody Rihanna adjacent? Does ASAP got the herp too? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is really going on? Does Beyonce got the herp too? Like, like what is really going on? Like, when they say everybody got it, does everybody really got it, or is that just something they say? Whew, oh, Lord, just like everybody herping along. Okay, all right. So next up, one of my favorite catch-up stories. I'm gonna catch you up on. So you remember old girl, what's her name? Kimberly something, I think. That motherfucker is not real on the plane. Okay, so first off, there's more to the story that I didn't even know part of the story. I didn't know it was okay. So again, I hate when people do this and bury the lead, so let's just watch it. All right, so check it out.
You guys remember Plane Lady? This lady?
Telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
The lady who randomly got up on a flight
Gonzalez.
and started freaking out, saying that mother isn't real.
Gomez.
And then she went missing for like a week or two. Nobody could track her down. Nobody could
Tiffany
find her.
Gomez.
And then randomly a video pops up that it's like an apology video. This one.
Hi everyone, it's me, Tiffany Gomez, probably better known as the Crazy Plane Lady, which is completely warranted. As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. Distressed or not, I should have been in control of my emotions, and that was not the case. My use of profanity was completely unnecessary, and I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children.
But the apology video sounds so scripted and rehearsed, and like there's no emotion behind what she's saying. It's just like she's just getting the words out because she has to, type of a vibe is what I got from it.
Yeah, I disagree. I do think that it was scripted though, because she's hitting all the talking points. You know what I'm saying? She's hitting all the points. So I do think it was scripted, but I didn't get the feeling that there was no emotion behind it. But that was me.
She looked disturbed. I mean, distraught.
This is the part that I did not know. Check it out.
Do not let that flight leave. Do not let that flight leave.
You ready? Let's go. Come on.
Do not let that flight leave. it's not going to make it to her end.
Let's
She's
go.
not going to.
Like, she was upset for a while. And she was convinced that that flight was not making it. I hadn't seen any of this.
She's not making it. There's a lot of people on that flight.
And I'm getting the sense now that, like, she feels like, am I crazy?
You'll need to escort me out.
Yeah. You had your own one. So.
Oh yeah, until y'all see that.
You can tell when somebody is just being like dramatic or just having a bad day versus somebody that's like actually like distraught. And that's what I got from that video.
Yes,
All
I
that
did
happened
too.
was the guy was kind of rude, but they locked eyes. That's the main part in the story that gets to me is they locked eyes, and then she lost it. Like maybe she saw something that she wasn't supposed to see. One of the witnesses said that the guy had his eyes like locked on her.
And she didn't seem drunk to me, by the way. Just throwing that out there. I didn't see her drink. I mean, she seemed totally normal to me up until that point. The weird thing was after she left the plane, the dude in the hoodie, which the flight attendant was like, did anything happen? And he still didn't say a word. He just went like, and like shrugged. The dude in the hoodie like looked around the plane and he looked back at me and he winked at me. And again, I didn't quite register it. I was like, okay, what the fuck was that about? I was like, maybe he's just being like an ass, like winking, like that was weird, wasn't it? But now that I look back, I realized that when he winked at me and it was his left eye looking back at me, it didn't wink like this. It winked like this. And I didn't even register.
See. See, I got. Now watch this.
What?
See that?
So I'm wondering if she saw something like this. Or like this. Or something like this. But to say that that mother effer isn't real is such a deliberate thing to say. It's such an intentional thing to say that you wouldn't just say that unless you meant it. She ended up explaining in the video that she was just having a very bad day and that she should have controlled her emotions better, and that the guy sitting next to her was just kind of an a-hole, and that's why she freaked out like that. Did she see a shapeshifter? Or did she just see through the cloaking system that he was using? The eyes are truly the window to your soul, and the eyes are so telling. I don't know about you, but when I encounter somebody that's an a-hole, I don't.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I did not know that she was that upset and had to be escorted out the airport and all of that. I didn't know that she was talking the whole way out. I don't understand the connection between seeing a freaky person and the flight's not going to make it to its destination. I don't understand that connection. So I still feel like I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. Like if I saw a crazy lizard dude on the plane, I'll be like, it's a crazy lizard dude on the plane. It wouldn't have nothing to do with whether or not the flight landed. But I am going to be talking to y'all about shapeshifters in a future episode. So I think I will save this so I could play it for you again when we talk about shapeshifters, because that's that's a thing. So yeah, okay. So right. She was super upset. And then she came back hella calm, like everything was everything, like, no big deal, nothing to see here, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think? I did not know that she was that upset.
Just say that mother effer isn't real. I might say, like, he's rude, or he did this, or just ignore him.
It feels a lot like the Miami Mall incident with like how they just wanted to bury it and delete it off the entire internet and pretend like it never happened. It feels a lot like the Miami Mall incident.
It's funny you say that because I kind of forgot about the Miami Mall mention incident until you just said it. So it does kind of have that feeling where it's kind of like, hmm, I don't know. But have you guys seen the creepy eyes and stuff like that before? Let's see. See if we can find it. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. I heard that this guy was a parody account, if I'm not mistaken. So this may or may not be entirely 100%. I can't vouch for that clip necessarily. So I mean, I don't vouch for none of this. I'll show you, but
And I didn't even register.
See. See, I got.
yeah, that's a trip. But I wouldn't think somebody was winking at me.
So I'm
Yeah, so I wouldn't think somebody was winking at me if they did it. I'd be like, they eye did some weird where it just like looked like a lens like flipped over them. But I don't know. Look, strange things are happening these days. They talk about frequency and frequency disruptions and stuff like that, and that's why we can start to see them now. I think that we're kind of more keyed into it these days. She had this graphic here, why reptilian masks are glitching out. It says rising human frequency, energy drain, technological overload, the technology behind the disguise. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about shape shifting. But yeah, so Tiffany Gomez was yeah, she was really freaked out. Again, I don't know how that corresponds to the plane's not gonna land, but all right, okay. Next up. We got John Bonet. There's some unheard stuff about the John Bonet case that you got to check out too. Here we go. Let's get it.
These unheard facts about the John Benet Ramsey case really have me rethinking everything I thought I knew about the case. I found this out from another creator and I tagged her below, so if you want to check out her videos, please do. They are really good. The night before John Benet was found unalived in her home,
Okay, so before we get into it, I saw somebody say that they hate when somebody sticks their head over the video, but it's just thing. Look, I'm not trying to stick my head over her head while she talks about another creator, but it's just the way these things go. All right, so bear with my head over her head. All right, let's get it.
About the case. I found this out from another creator and I tagged her below, so if you want to check out her videos, please do. They are really good. The night before John Benet was found unalived in her home, December 23rd, the Ramseys had a large Christmas party in their beautiful, large, mansion home in Boulder, Colorado. That night, someone from inside of the home called 911 and hung up. The dispatcher called back, but nobody answered, so they sent a police officer to the home. Susan Stein, Patsy's best friend, answered the door and said that everything was fine and wouldn't let them in. She told them that the call was a mistake. Later, a man named Fleet White, don't forget that name, admitted to making the call. He said that he was trying to phone his mother, Nyla White's medication in or something like that. He said that she was in a hospital and he was trying to phone her medication in, and that he accidentally called 911. Supposedly, she was in a hospital in Aspen. In Patsy Ramsey's book, she mentioned that Fleet White spent most of the evening in a room with the white notepad, the white notepad that the ransom letter was written on. Apparently, he was in that room writing down things about his mother who was in the hospital, and that's where he spent the majority of the party that night. And supposedly, he wrote some kind of directions or something on that notepad, and he left the home, took the notepad with him to the airport because he was getting supplies for his mother there that were getting shipped to Aspen. This was all mentioned in Patsy's book. However, an anonymous source called the police and reported that Nyla wasn't in the hospital in Aspen. She attended Nyla's Christmas party that evening. When all this news about John Benet Ramsey hit, a woman named Nancy Krebs contacted the Boulder Police Department. She told them that Fleet White and John Ramsey molested her as a child, and that her own parents were involved in a ring, with children. She also claims that her own mother attended the party in which JonBenet Ramsey was killed. So that same party on December 23rd at the Ramsey's house. And apparently this was verified. Her mother was at that party. The Boulder Police Department claimed that this woman is mentally ill. And they had the public believing that she's mentally ill. And they stand on that, even though there's evidence stating otherwise. But, however, remember, these are the same police that said that the Ramseys are influential people and to be easy on them and to not really look into this. That's what they told a detective, so just saying. There was one DA that believed the woman, and he thinks that she's telling the truth. And allegedly, Fleet White Sr., the father of Fleet White, offered the woman $75,000 to keep quiet and not say anything about this. Nancy never went to the media with her story. She never tried to get any money, she never got a dime, and she never tried to get a dime. She went to the Boulder Police Department and she spoke with her therapist. She has nothing to gain from this, and she's not mentally ill. And allegedly, she met Patsy Ramsey in the 70s at a Rainbow Girls convention, which is a Masonic youth group. A Masonic youth group that Patsy held a high position in. And allegedly, Nancy Krebs was speaking to her therapist about this long before JonBenet was ever killed. Back in the 70s, her and her therapist decided to write a letter to Uncle John, her abuser, as an exercise. But she didn't know that this same Uncle Johnny was the same Uncle John that she seen in the news when the news broke about JonBenet. When she seen him on the news, she then realized that that's the same Uncle Johnny she's been speaking to her therapist about. It's the same Uncle Johnny that she told the Boulder Police Department about. But in this letter that she wrote back in the 70s, she asks Uncle Johnny, "What did you do with all the money that you made off of selling me? All of the photographic images and videos that you made with me? What did you do with all of the money?" And she also said that he had multiple businesses that he was using to funnel money from doing this to tons of children. These businesses were created as a cover-up to hide what was really going on. She also told her therapist that a rope was tied around her neck and other children's necks, and it would get pulled to make it appear as if they were having an orgasm. She also talked about how Christmas time was a notable time because
it's crazy watching this stuff with you guys sometimes because it's just like, I usually watch this stuff by myself and I'm disgusted all by myself. But tying a rope around the neck so that that's, ugh, ugh. Anyway, yeah, that the parents would know a little more than they let on seems right to me. That Uncle John seems to have a history, is an issue, that the police let up on it, is an issue. But there's something else I'm gonna let you know after this goes off. Let me tell you one more interesting fact about this JonBenet Ramsey thing.
During Christmas break, it would give time for the injuries to heal before they had to go back to school. Holiday parties were easy for them to do this to the children. With so many people in and out of the house, it didn't look, unusual. People would stay late and drink, and it was just an easy way for these things to happen. Nancy also claimed that they used an electric shock device on her, and JonBenet Ramsey had taser marks on her neck. And remember, she talked about this stuff with her therapist years before JonBenet was killed. The creator that I tagged was more in-depth with her video. Like I said, it was so interesting, and it really changed my mind about this entire case. There are so many theories going around, about this case, but this one, to me, I don't know. This one jumps out at me. There's so much evidence. I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm at a loss for words, guys. But I want to know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, repost, share, whatever, save this video, and if you don't follow, make sure you follow for more videos like this, and stay tuned for more.
Okay, so there is also a theory about JonBenet that her photograph, the famous one of her in the outfit and the hair all, spangled out, the famous one. I'll see if I can. Okay, the story is that that's actually an AI generated image and that maybe JonBenet never even existed at all. that's deep down the rabbit hole, you know, and I don't expect y'all to go all the way there. But yeah, that is yeah, that's Jean Benet. Okay, so yeah, again, I thought I would always look at closer to the home, the family, the relatives, or whatever. I didn't know Uncle John had accusations going that far back, and that's probably why they hushed it up. And we looking like the Minnesota Mall, and that motherfucker is not real. And if they don't want you to know, I guess you don't know, right? Right. Okay. And if they want you to know, they're gonna tell you though, right? Check this out.
You're big mad now because I called Allie Carter a psyop. Guess what? She didn't lie to anybody. She told you the truth, but she's not who you think she is. She's CIA. You're welcome. Do I need to do every one of your jobs for you? Can you think for yourself? Are you a person or are you AI? Allie Carter is Central Intelligence Agency. You gonna let it sink in anytime soon? Or you want me to do your job for you? That's the thing. You can't think for yourself. You can't look these people up. You can't understand who her mother is, where they came from.
Okay, so I don't know who this lady is. I don't know if Allie Carter is CIA, but I know that she's very popular among some circles and that she's looked at as a person, you know, that's out to help save the children and things of this nature. I don't know these people, and it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she really was CIA. It just wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me to find out that she was Tupac's daughter, which is one thing that was going around. I would be surprised about that, but it would not surprise me. I'd easier believe that she was CIA than Tupac's daughter.
No one did the background, did they? No one. You're welcome. She is not Tupac or Biggie's daughter. She is Central Intelligence Agency. She didn't lie. She told you about Diddy. She told you about the whole industry. But she did lie about one thing. Who she was. You're welcome.
Do with that what you will, but you know, if you're a conspiracy head like I am, then you know about Allie Carter, and you know, like, okay, but you know how the game is played also. They got to put it in your face and all this other kind of stuff. So, you know, I don't know none of these people. I don't take nothing, anything. We just having fun, right? We just looking at spooky stuff and crazy stuff and fun stuff and interesting stuff. But we're not taking this stuff seriously, I hope. I hope we're not investing any sort of emotional anything into any of these people because we do not know them. We don't know how they roll. Take your energy and invest it in the people that you know that surround you. We don't do that around here. So anyway, but yeah, so she could be CIA. All right.
Some people have some seriously bad luck. For example, there's the world famous Hollywood filmmaker Steven Spielberg. Well, he was making a movie about a TV show called The Twilight Zone.
You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Well, during the filming of that movie, there was a horrible accident. And because of that accident, 3 people passed away, 2 of them being child actors. And not only did these kids, aged 7 and 6, pass away, but it turns out they weren't even supposed to be there, and they were there unsupervised. Investigators said it could have been an explosion that brought the helicopter down, but after watching this next clip, I have my questions about the whole thing.
6 and 7 were all killed on location by a falling helicopter. Landis's attorney, who presented the films, described the action leading up to the fatal crash.
See, he's out. Takes over the lead, leaves the scene.
After that, it wasn't but a few years later that the bad luck struck again for old Stevie. 7 months after finishing up filming for the 3rd sequel to his famous horror flick Poltergeist, he got the news. little girl that played Caroline, the star of that movie, suddenly passed away at age 12 from a bowel obstruction.
Okay, now this is the one
Now
that
there's
everybody's
so many
familiar with.
mysteries, unanswered questions, and just
Yeah, this Heather O'Rourke is the one that everybody's most familiar with. But I bet y'all forgot about that Twilight Zone thing, didn't you? Death seems to follow him and children in some mysterious ways, right?
unanswered questions and just wickedness behind Heather's passing that I gotta make her own video. Because you see, it wasn't just her. After she passed away, 3 other co-stars of the movie did as well. One was the actress that played her older sister in the movie. She passed away at the hands of her boyfriend. The other 2 had pre-existing medical conditions, so it was at the hands of medical professionals. And it wasn't but a few months after he found out about Heather, he got the news of Judith Barcy's passing. She's the voice behind Ducky in The Land Before Time. 10 years old when she passed, Judith came from a rough home with an alcoholic dad that was jealous of her. And even though Judith was in the industry for 5 years already and bringing in all that money, he ended that, as well as her sibling and himself. But not before setting the house on fire. At least, that's how it appeared. Now that's rough. Old Spielberg lost Judith and Heather, all in the same year. Now, as if losing employees wasn't bad enough for old Spielberg here, but then he had to deal with ungrateful ones that spread rumors. Like actor Isaac Cappy, that accused him of being in multiple videos.
See how easy that was, Corey? I didn't need $10 million. I just did it.
Corey Feldman, who starred in 2 of Steven Spielberg's movies, Gremlins and The Goonies. And he's notorious for saying,
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
And then there's Elijah Woods, the child actor that was in Deep Impact, the one that Spielberg was executive producer of.
Before we go there, if I'm not mistaken, Heather O'Rourke died of a bowel obstruction or something to that nature. So there is that as well.
You know, this guy. Same thing.
In a new interview with the Sunday Times, the former child star alleges that pedophilia has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the
Even Crispin Glover, you know, Marty McFly's dad from Back to the Future. Well, he had a whole lot of things to say, but that's just because he didn't like old Stevie.
Yeah, Crispin
Yeah,
Glover.
bad luck's
You know,
been a
man.
plague for old Spielberg here. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it all happened in a short amount of time. Oh, and did I mention he's also Drew Barrymore's godfather? You know, now that I think about it, that sure is a lot of kids. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, that is that's kind of spooky. That's kind of, what's interesting is that these people are still talented. Steven Spielberg did 2 of my favorite movies. The Color, no, I'm sorry, not 2 of my favorite movies. What is his thing that he did? I think 2 of his movies brought me almost to tears. I think that's what it was. I think, yeah, The Color Purple almost brought me to tears. The part when they're doing the "You and me are never part," like and she getting dragged away. Nothing but that fucking me from her. That part, that that hit me a little bit. And there was another movie too where, there was a time and I was like, he's the only one that's ever kind of hit me that way in the movies with with his direction. I don't really do that, but that's to say that he is talented, but that doesn't mean that he isn't also sinister. It doesn't say that he is. I'm not saying I don't have personal knowledge of it, so I can't say nothing, but I could say what it sure as hell looks like, right? I mean, yeah, that's heavy stuff right there, with all the proximity to children and all the weird happenings and going ons and stuff, right? I mean, it's a little strange, you know what I'm saying? I'm not leaving my kids with him, but you're gonna do you. I'm gonna have my kids listening to daddyflirt.com because I know that they're not gonna listen to no ratchet me lyrics and nothing that's gonna make them want to off themselves or anything like that. We gonna have music over there that's banging and makes them feel good about themselves. I want them feeling like they could do anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we banging over there at daddyflirt.com. Go ahead and log on, support my work, bang with me. Let's have a good time together, all right? And that's it for today. We got some more celebrity scandals, but I don't want to keep you too long on this one. We'll get back to it another time. So in the meantime, in between time, stay cool and I'll get you in the next one. Late.